everyone, welcome back to Beach Angel Tarot. I'm here to do my weekly reading, and we're going to look at the energies for the week ahead with angelic messages. Hopefully everyone has had a wonderful 4th of July weekend. This is July 5th, so this will go from the 5th to probably the 11th, or timeless as they are. We're going to let the angels speak to us for this week, or whatever messages we need to hear in this moment, whenever you arrive at this message, at this video. So we're going to take a dive in. I'm going to use these. I'm going to use angel cards first, and then we're going to just take a peek at a 5-card spread. What the angels want us to know this week, most important. Wow, there's a lot. Wow, I don't know. I'm not taking all this. I'm going to put them back. Focusing on the energy this week. Ah, there it is. And it is imagine. Undercurrent is change, so imagine change, or a imagined change, something that you have been visualizing to change, or using your vision to change it. It says, life is a journey. It would be very unfulfilling if each step was exactly the same as the last. Because life is always changing, it is forever fresh and new. Allow your life to unfold gracefully. Be grateful for what was and be grateful for what was, is, and forever will be. This was in the undercurrent. The message that came out is imagine. Clearly visualize the life you want. Feel it in your heart and soul, and so it will come to be. Kind of saw feed. When the word feel, it looked like feed, or I saw feed. Like feed it. Feed your imagination. Perhaps feed your imagination the change you want to see. We don't, if life stayed the same, how boring would that be, right? So maybe if you haven't seen the change you want, if you haven't, if nothing much has been changing, or you've been in a stagnant, energy, or in a rut, maybe take time each day to feed your visualization with the change you want, like seeing it, visualizing it, looking at it, using your third eye, or, daydreaming it into being, right? So feed it. So take time each day to feed it, maybe 3 times a day, like you would if you had a pet. Lately I've been getting this dog energy like a lot in dreams, and just coming to me a lot. And so like liking it to a pet, liking it to a dog or a cat, you have to get up and feed it. So using that as an analogy to feed the energy for that change to come into being, right? But it can also mean that an imagined change that you have been holding is coming soon, or this week. So let's see what Spirit's helping us this week, and then we're going to do the reading. Let's just add another layer. What Spirit is around us right now, or helping us right now. This is Spirit of Darkness and Light by Mystic Moon Oracles, and obviously this is the one. And it's the Werewolf Spirit, Wild Untamed Desire. Boy, is it dark. Look at it. And then the Undercurrent is also a dark card. So dark energy. Not that it's dark like negative, because we always need that dark and light. And it is the Spirit of the Anchor. Invest, solid, stable, wild, untamed desire. So it can be stabilizing some... it feels like primal. Feels very primal, very instinctual, trying to bring stability into that. Because this is kind of like, this kind of energy is, wild and untamed. It's very reactive. It just responds, it reacts, versus, kind of thinking it through and then replying or responding. So it's kind of trying to bring some balance and stability into this energy. And our shadows can have us doing this, right? Acting out of these primal desires. There's a little bit of shadow side can be involved in this too. So we're going to see, but these are the energies. These are the spirits that are helping us. This werewolf spirit and the anchor, Spirit of the Anchor. So sometimes desires, without stability, they kind of burn out. Like we have a desire to do something, but without any solid ground, without any long-term investment energy, without anything solid around it. It's sort of like reminding me of the Knight of Wands, you know, it's just very, and the Knight of Pentacles, where it would add some stability to the journey of it, right? Or to the longevity of it. So there's like a combining, to me it feels like a combining of the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles, honestly. Like how the energy's moving, it's very fiery, but it also has long-term stability to it. So if you have wanted to see a change like that in your life, or maybe you have a lot of ideas and desires, but you don't have a plan, you know, you don't have any solid ground, this change is coming. And I feel these two spirits are helping bring it. It feels very much to do with your own path, but it could have to do with a person or a situation or a relationship that kind of has a lot of wild, untamed, instinctual desire to it, but not any stability. And you've been wanting the combination of those. You want to keep that wild desire, but bring stability to it. That could be happening, but I feel it's an internal. I feel this is more internal, but it can be working. It's in any, you know, any energy. I feel it has to do with your own plans, your own desires, your own energy for your path ahead, right? Because we can come up with a lot of good ideas, but if we don't have a stable plan, or even like money to invest and get it going, it can burn out rather quickly, right? Hence the untamed wild part of it. It comes and goes just as fast, like the Knight of Wands. So that's my intuitive feel into those. But that change, you can bring the change, you can add that stability to that by visualizing it. And I feel like this imagined change is coming. And these two spirits are helping bring that change into being, if you will. So let's see what the angels want us to know this week. I'm going to use a self-care deck, just going by the keywords or anything like that intuitively that comes up. Focusing on what angels want us to know this week. What the angels want us to know most important this week. It's an important energy for us this week. That one wanted to come out. And I'm going to, she's naked, so I'm going to PG it. I'm going to put my fingers over the naked part. Wisdom is coming up. And it says, let go of the need to control. I'm going to do it again. Let go of the need to control. Trust in the wisdom of the divine plan. I'm just going to set it aside. I'm not going to use it as the message because it fell out and I'm not feeling it. I just think it just came out. Because she's kind of reaching for a pentacle to let go of the need to control. Trust the wisdom in the divine plan. So I feel like in accordance with this energy, this opening message, you can't control this. And it may be even best to stay in this wild energy because the wild energy isn't controlled, you know. It can't be controlled, so to speak. So kind of staying in that and allow the divine plan to bring in the stability, the long-term part of it. Stay in your creative process, right? Don't worry so much about the solidity of it. Let the angels handle this part. You stay in that feeling of the excitement of what it is you want to see, you know, staying in the passionate energy, and allow spirit to bring in that stability, I feel. But let's just get another one. I want to see, because that one just kind of flopped out there. I felt like it was just a message for us to stay in our wild desires, stay in that creative process, and let spirit work out the logistics of the groundingness of it, okay? So what the angels want us to know most important outside of that, and we have nature. It definitely was the one that wanted to come out. Beautiful image. Mother Nature. It says, take a walk. Let the beauty of nature feed your soul. And exactly, that's the word I saw. I saw feed when I went to this one, and it says, feel in your heart and soul. Feel it in your heart and soul, and so it will come to be. But I saw feed it. Feed it in your heart and soul, and so it will come to be. So it's simple. You know, they're telling us that the message from the angels this week is to get out in beauty. Feed your heart and soul. The beauty of nature around you. And I love that the boats are there. I myself have almost nightly been taking a kayak ride. I'm very close to a small dam near me, and I go over there and I just go over and paddle around the lake. and just sit with nature. I become one with nature. It's just beautiful. It's awesome. And so that is feeding my heart and soul for the future of my dreams to unfold, right? The imagined change that I want to see to come to me. So it's important. They're telling us it's important to take a walk, to get out in nature. For me, it's kayaking at this time. I love also walking, fast walking. I don't enjoy running, but I like to fast walk, that kind of thing. Walking, biking, kayaking is my thing. Anything that creates that movement, that rhythm, right? In nature to feed your soul. And that's exactly what I saw. Doing this is going to feed your heart and soul for your imagined change to come in. So getting in that rhythm, again, walking, biking, or kayaking, or anything that gets you into a moving rhythmic energy. If you want to dance, whatever this is, let that feed your soul. Being in nature is going to be more helpful. They're saying the grounding energy, being, connected to the earth. So if you want to dance, just go outside in your bare feet. Be careful though. Watch where you're stepping. And ground and get into that rhythmic movement. I feel rhythmic movement also is important to bring about this change this week. But again, try not to control it. Stay in this energy. Even though this could be perceived as being a negative, it's not in this case. Staying in this creative process, staying in the excitement of your desire, in the wildness of it, in the untamed part of it, untamed nature. Nature is untamed. You can't tame nature. It runs in its own rhythms. Animals do their own thing. So you want to be in that very beautiful process this week, in being in those rhythms for yourself, and to feed your soul, to feed your heart and feed your soul. And that's going to bring this change about. I love how they're showing this whole process. So another message for us is something that angels can see high above that we can't see down here, or we're just not seeing it the right way, or they want us to show us something. I almost feel like they're going to show us something on the next step, like the next step. I feel like they're pre-showing us something here. I don't know why. I feel like I'm being shown the next step in the ground that I'm going to be taking, but the sun is coming out as tenderness. See child energy here. And it says, speak gently to yourself, cherish the child within. So in doing this, you could connect to the inner child, right? You could connect to that inner child energy, into an innocence. There is an innocence, a curiosity here. I feel like doing the first process that we were talking about connects us to it, because this felt like the next step, or where my foot's going to go down next. And it's going to be into a curiosity. Children are very curious. Even though this doesn't say curious, it says speak gently to yourself, cherish the child within. Children are naturally curious. Like even, like a child will see a fire, and they'll go to it and they want to put their hand in it. They don't know it's going to hurt them. So there is a sense here of childlike curiosity and wonder, that's untamed in a way that, versus hurting you, is going to benefit you. It's not like you're going to put your hand in a flame and get burnt, but you're going to tap into a childlike curiosity for the next step ahead, and it's going to lead you to something positive, is what they're saying. So that's why it's perhaps important to be in this untamed energy, staying in that flow, because it's going to lead to a curiosity, I feel. And again, not a painful process. I was just using that as an example, but it's going to lead to, this is like the next step, of childlike curiosity. So when you get into that feeling like, where does this lead me? Or you come up with an idea while you're out in this, doing this process in nature. You come up with an idea, or something's going to pop in where you get curious about researching something, because it's talked about wisdom over here, or something comes to you where you want to kind of go towards it with a childlike wonder and curiosity. That's the next step. So when you get into that feeling, you're on the right path. And I'm hearing children don't know about rules. So I don't know what that, it's like you might have to break a little rule. I don't know what they're saying. Children don't know about rules. Not telling anybody to break rules, but I don't know, I just felt like a little message there. So no rules. I don't know why that's coming up. Okay, so something we can do to help the angels help us this week. Something, an energy we can get into that is going to be most advantageous for the angels to help us. And it is pleasure. So having fun. I love the cat energy there. Do something just for fun. Like the no rules, like the childlike. Pleasure is one of life's essential nutrients. So having fun, getting into that childlike wonder and curiosity. No rules. Don't put any restrictions on, like, oh, I can't do that because I have this responsibility, or I have to be back. Almost felt like a bedtime here. When I was talking about the no rules, it felt like, I don't want a bedtime limit. I don't know what that is about, but, like, oh, I have to be back at a certain time because X, Y, Z, it's like getting lost in time. There's that feeling like, like when you're a child, you're out playing and you don't realize it's supper time and you hear your mother yelling for you, your name across town, like, get back here. I guess now in this day and age, it's a text. She'll text you, right? When I was younger, you could hear her yelling. The neighborhood was small. I'd be out playing with friends in the neighborhood and you could hear her down below yelling your name. But it's that kind of feeling. Get into the energy where you don't realize what time it is. You go with the flow. You're in a natural process. You're investigating something. You lose track of time. Get into a pleasurable activity where you just lose track of time. Again, it could have to do with this process of being outside in nature, like kayaking, walking, running, whatever. Or it could be something totally new where you're led to something that makes you curious and you get into that process and you're feeling like you don't know it's supper time, you don't know it's bedtime, you don't care, you're just in the flow, right? We see bubbles. I'm also seeing orbs here. So having fun. Cats also lead to an energy of independence. So this could be something you need to do on your own, not involving other people, just doing this as your own process, doing this on your own. So to help you do something for fun, lose yourself in time with it. Allow yourself to lose yourself and get into the flow. Angels whispers a secret we do not know. So 2 came out. Silence, progress. So this is a secret. It's going to help us on our path. So silence, progress. So progress out of silence. And I guess that's an owl. It almost looked like a cat in the tree, but I guess it's an owl. I can't see. It would need it looks like the side of the face of an owl now, but for a second, it kind of looked like a cat or a cat's eye. I don't know why, but tiger eye is coming up here too. So for somebody that may be important. Oh, but the message here, secret you do not know, is that there's progress in silence, moving in silence with this. So not, don't share this. This feels very singular with the cats. A need to kind of do this on your own, by yourself. This isn't a group event. This is nothing that needs to be talked about. This is something for yourself. I'm going to read the backs. Rest your mind. Silence is good self-care. Charge forward, be willing to make mistakes. But I just feel the blank message is there's progress in silence. So moving in silence, not sharing your idea with anyone, not telling anyone what you're doing, maybe not even telling anyone where you're going. Believe me, in this day and age, they'll find you if they need you. Losing yourself in your own process and this whole thing is going to bring the most progress. So don't share this with anyone. Don't tell anyone. If there is a situation where it's like observation, this owl or whatever this is really drawing to me. It's like you can only see his one eye. See him in the tree there? Almost feels like an owl cat. I don't know. There's no such thing as an owl cat, but I don't know why. It's like while you sleep, there's one eye open. Like it's like sleeping with one eye open, but yet it's not your eye. It's like Your third eye or your spirit guide's eye is got you while you're sleeping. It's taking away fears. Okay, I feel like because it says be willing to make mistakes. I feel like while you're sleeping, honestly, that came to me like a whoa, like a rush of knowing that fear was leaving. Fear was being, there's like an eraser. I'm feeling like an eraser feeling here. So while you're sleeping, this isn't a secret too. So this is the placement of angel whispers. While you're sleeping, fear is being erased. So when you're in a subconscious state, there are fears being erased. So if you may also want to do like subliminals, listening to subliminals to get rid of self-limiting beliefs, that kind of thing. But even if you're not doing that, I feel like something about your sleep state, silence is good self-care, and it's to self-care, your spirit guides, your higher self. There's something in spirit around you that is removing the fear of making mistakes, so you're able to move forward. So blockages are being removed, they're saying. Blockages are being removed for your progress forward while you sleep. This is the secret from spirit. And again, nature is coming up big here, so maybe even napping out in nature could be good for you. But even if you're not napping in nature, sleep in general, there are fears being removed in your sleep. Like blockages removed, erased, eradicated, that kind of thing. So it could be each day moving forward, you feel more fearless, is what I'm getting. And again, that is this more untamed desire. So you're able to move with this desire, that feeling solid, feeling secure. Because before you may have felt this untamed desire and it may have actually scared you. And then you weren't able to move forward because you didn't feel grounded, you didn't feel solid, right? But it's going to create this is creating more of an ability to move with that desire. It's like a fire, that's moving, but not in any fear of burning yourself or somehow. It's like this weird feeling that's coming up. So it's creating this centered desire and stability within you, where before it would almost create more of a fear. You're afraid of your own desire or untamed energy, and it blocked you from being able to move forward. So this is being removed in silence, and it's being removed while you're sleeping, I feel. Also, they're telling us to not share. Don't need to talk about this to other people. You don't need to share your vision or this desire with other people. It's to kind of also move in silence as well through your day. But at night, spirit is helping you release blockages, release fears. So you're going to be each day moving forward. I almost feel like it's a progression, like weeks, not just days. I don't know if you're going to feel this on a daily basis, but like you look back next week or 2 weeks. There's no numbers on these cards, but I feel like blocks of weeks. You're going to feel differently. Maybe not worried so much about what other people think, what other people say, what could possibly happen or what could go wrong. Instead of all those thoughts coming in, you're having more positive thoughts. You're not, or no thoughts about it at all. You're just moving instinctually without a fear, just as an animal would. They just, when they when they have a need that needs met, they just move to supply that need. If they need food, they hunt, right? If they need to migrate, they migrate. They don't have a fear of it. They just so do it. And so that's the energy that's coming up here. Hopefully that explains itself. So I'm going to move forward. That is rather interesting. And this is all ushering in the change that is needed, right? So, and you're going to see this change within yourself as well. So something that's going to wind up for us in a good way soon. Something that is coming in a good progression. Whoa, that one flipped out. Again, that wisdom. Wisdom came up in the beginning. Listening. And I see a mirror image here, which has been huge mirroring energy lately. Listen to your wise self. Let your inner compass direct the course of your life. So this is going to bring, again, that ability to the wise self. That's this owl cat. How to say owl cat? We're going to make a new animal. We're going to make a cat that's an owl. And even her, she's got two images. You know, like she's not the image. She's like a goddess in the mirror, right? So maybe you are like the owl, Athena, and Bast is the goddess. I'm getting Athena energy and Bast, or owl and cat. Goddess energy, whichever goddesses you connect to those two animals, is coming out within you, leading the way. And this energy that is you in spirit is directing the compass, moving forward. And you're listening to that. Silence creates an ability to hear, right? So not only the process that's going on in our sleep, us moving in silence, not sharing this information with a shitload of people or sharing our lives with a ton of people. I myself have removed myself from certain parts of social media recently, and so I can really pick and choose whom I share my plans with and what I'm doing and how I'm moving through the world, right? Not everyone is seeing my daily activities, and nor do they need to. And it was just like a sudden realization. That part of my daily existence just didn't seem real. And I just all of a sudden crave more real life interaction. Even if there's not a lot of people in that real life interaction, nature is in that interaction, and being silent and connecting with it. And here I'm really guided to how her ear is down on the ground, right? It's like the heartbeat of the earth. This is like rather deep. So anywho, the energy that's going to wind up for us through this process is an ability to hear that wise self. Listening, the silence of this change that's happening as we sleep, and the change in how we interact and move through the world, and how we follow that own inner flame without fear, okay, is all coming on board. It's kind of coming online when we quieted the outside energy that can cause anxiety and fears and make us feel like we don't have the stability beneath us. We are like kind of erasing that outside noise. We are settling into our inner flame, our inner self, our inner soul self, our wise self, and being able to hear it in this process. So this is definitely resonating with the energy that I'm in at this moment. And I imagine if you're drawn to this reading and listen this far, you yourself. I'm seeing 3 kind of shooting stars here. Also orbs. So you may be seeing orbs of light as confirmation. And number 3 also may be important coming up. But really being able to tune into that guidance. So it's like listening to that inner compass. So there is a change. The change is the inner compass, the direction that we're moving, because we're now tuned into another frequency, they're saying. The true path. They're saying the true path without all that outside noise that can distract us, keep us in fear from moving forward. So we're finding the path. The fears and the blockages are being removed, and we're able to kind of connect to it and be moved in that way. Beautiful. I love this energy. So hopefully everyone has enjoyed. For some reason, I want to pull a tree. I just want to pull a tree because of this energy of the nature. Let's see what the trees have to say. One parting message from the tree spirits for our week ahead. So if you want to kind of ask your own personal question about this, let's see what comes up. And we have whimsical. So again, that childlike, they're reminding us the bottom of the deck is new insight. Whimsical energy, back to the pleasure, back to the fun. We got a little bit serious there. That the key to this also is finding that fun. They were reminding us, don't get too caught up in this energy here at the end where, you know, all this more serious work is happening in our sleep and these fears and all that. But go back to that childlike curiosity and wonder. The whimsical energy brings in new insight. It brings in this imagined change. It helps us connect as well as part of this whole process. And remember, don't allow yourself to worry too much about rules. Allow yourself to kind of get lost in time in this fun. Don't put too much pressure on it. Just allow it to come naturally. Start getting out of nature. Start allowing yourself to connect to things that bring you fun, allowing yourself to investigate things you become curious about, and just allow the process to unfold naturally, just like nature does. So hopefully everyone has enjoyed this reading, and I will be back next week. Angel blessings, everyone. Oceans of love.